video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions,
Welcome everyone to an early movie madness. It's not at midnight. We got Zeverfet back, Ryan. We're minus a Mad Matt, but he might be back in the future. Got Brian Hill and Sci-Fi Dragon. I was supposed to have a special guest, Jeffrey. I don't know where he's at. I wanted to hear him say the Snyder Cut doesn't exist one more time.
It's a bold move, Max. Let's see how it plays out.
Yeah. We got a lot of people in the chat. Obi-Wan, Yo, the ambassador. If they cast Timothy Alton as Thrawn, I'd be very happy with that. Might have to do some voice alteration on him, but he does look. Yeah, that's. I just threw that thumbnail together. I also brought up an article of actors that could play Thrawn. I don't necessarily think they did. Maybe I just did a little bit of zero clickbait. Mike Zero clickbait, because I was like, what should I put on the thumbnail?
Hey, when you did that, I was like, hey, that's plausible.
Yeah, know? I know. He has the look. He
I get behind it.
Yeah, if they said that, and he is playing a mystery character, so it's possible. I don't know if they would do that right away in season 2. The season 2, though, man, is it stacked?
I know. I'm so looking forward to it
with actors and directors, and I mean it's crazy. It goes along with my theory is that this is not just season 2. They are preparing for a whole just for one show. All these actors, I don't see it. It's too stacked. My dog is going crazy. Hold on a second.
I'm excited about season 2 as well.
Oh yeah. And it's
I haven't even seen the first season, so I can't even say.
Oh man,
no, it was a good season. It's a good season.
You have to get on that Sci-Fi Dragon. Seriously, I mean, you got to.
The only thing that's keeping me from it is the monthly subscription of Disney Plus and having to pay for it.
Yeah, Verizon or whatever. I know, like one of those services is like free for a year or something like that.
It's $6.99 though. Sci-Fi, come on.
I guess I could do it then.
Yeah, you gotta. Well, maybe wait till season 2's coming around.
Wait for some more content. Yeah, wait for some more content, and then binge it. I mean, there's no reason to pay $6.99, get stuck in, forget about the subscription, and end up paying like $30.
Let's talk about Star Wars. We'll talk about
like the
Star
staffs that got it from the beginning.
Yeah,
I nerd a lot. All right, and Cavill and The Rock, take my money. Yes, I think that's.
Oh, heck yeah!
I think that's why. I don't think. I honestly don't. That's what we're going to talk about too. I honestly don't think that they would have been this strong considering bringing Cavill back unless it wasn't for Dwayne. He's vouching for him. Whatever The Rock wants, he usually gets in these movies. He's like one of the last bankable actors that you could just bank just on the name. That's rare these days. I can't think of many. I can't think of many others. But if The Rock is involved, you go with the program.
Yeah, he's this generation's Arnold Schwarzenegger or Stallone or whatever. Just action movie hero, and people will go in droves to see him.
Yeah, and they.
Hey.
Oh, it's that Jeffrey. Okay.
Hey, just got a 10 playing cards with my family.
Oh, okay. How's it going?
All right.
Maybe I mixed the Jeffreys,
Phase
but
10.
I'm glad you're here too, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
I think I mixed up the Jeffreys on my Discord, but I'm glad you messaged me too.
Yeah.
So we do not have a Snyder Cut denier here. I mixed up the two.
I prefer
guess it's
this
unanimous
Jeffrey over the other one.
Yeah. So some people are happy about that anyway, Jeffrey. Happy to see you. How are you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
Good. We're going to talk about, I think, since you popped in, we'll talk about Snyder Cut a little bit and Cavill. Have you heard that Cavill's going to be back for they're rumoring him for Shazam 2. What are your thoughts there?
Honestly, I would believe it because really it would just make more sense because in the comics we have really Kara coming after Superman and Superman, and Superman is really a teacher to Kara, so it would make sense that we would get a Superman 2 with Henry before they do Supergirl.
Okay. I heard they were planning on Supergirl, but might not be on the cards now.
Well, they had that comic that came out before Man of Steel hit theaters, and
I heard about that too.
Kara's capsule open and all that, and I don't know how they were doing continuity with that because they had there's like a time difference and how Kal-El showed up versus Kara, and she's actually older but younger.
Zach actually deconfirmed that theory. He said someone asked him if that was Supergirl's pod. Someone asked him if that was Supergirl's pod, the open pod, and he said no. What he had planned for Supergirl was something cooler. So really that open pod wasn't Supergirl's, but it still opens. Like that still opens the mystery of whose pod that
was
really
Ursa.
was. So maybe it was. Who knows? Maybe it was Superboy's.
What do you think if it's the way they bring him back as Shazam 2? Is that where you want him to show first?
Honestly, it would depend on what would come first because really it would just, for me, it would kind of depend. But if I were to tell my preference, I would say first to do the Snyder Cut and then do Shazam 2. And the main reason for that is apparently the reason why the director of Shazam put so much BVS references on there was because he actually said that he liked BVS. So I think that it makes more sense for first to have him return in the Snyder Cut and then in Shazam 2.
Yeah, Shazam did quite a bit of world building, kind of legitimizing the characters. With Freddie having all the like me having all the different shirts of the heroes and whatever. Just sort of like showing that these are the people that are looked up to and all that in their society. So yeah, I'd like to see Henry Cavill in whatever, man. I mean, I think he has one more appearance in his contract. And that was supposed to be Shazam, but schedule conflicts, didn't allow that, and he shaved his mustache. So he still has one more appearance, but I think he was vying, and that's why he was with that director from Mission Impossible, and they were trying to pitch a different Superman movie. Chris McQuarrie. McQuarrie, right? And the studio was like, "No, we." Thank you for the pitch. It was a nice pitch, but we have other plans for Superman, and so it's still on the table, and I think he really wants to do it. So, I mean, who?
Oh yeah, there was at that time there were rumors that Warner Brothers really wanted him to do that end scene sequence to actually be in it, but that you were saying, Ryan, he had one more appearance in his contract. And then he was worried if they wouldn't renew his contract, that would be, and they did not give him the funds he wanted at that time. That was the rumor around movie talk at that time, if I can remember.
I'd like to deconfirm that rumor. He actually
deconfirm.
He actually said that it doesn't really matter about the money. He just wants more control with the character.
Yeah,
is
with the
all.
story, the
So,
narrative, right? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So really that rumor is kind of reversed in a way. Like people for some reason got that for some reason people got that wrong. So it's not that he wants more money, he just wants more control with the character.
Okay.
Mhm.
Fair point.
sense.
That would make sense too. He's the one that he's definitely. I think from what I've heard, he likes Snyder, but he wasn't exactly thrilled the way Superman went either. I don't. From what I've
Yeah.
heard, did you hear that as well?
That's the sentiment. That's sort of what I'm picking up on. It's speculation on my end. I mean, he hasn't told me himself personally, but I kind of get that from him. That I think what Henry is going off of is like audience reception, and he really wants to do justice for the audience. He and he really likes Superman, and what an iconic role to play. There's only a handful of people that have played that role, and he wants to I mean, while he's young, while he's still able to lift and keep that physique, that he wants to embody that superhero and go forward with it with some really good ideas. But he just wants to be paired with a director that has his back, sort of like Patty and Gal, and then also Dwayne and
Exactly.
Makes a lot of sense. You get a stronger movie that way when there's a cohesion between the lead and the director. I mean,
Do you guys think he was against Superman dying at the end of BVS, or do you think he was on board with that with Zach?
I think he was on board with it because he made a point on the picture where it showed Superman being dark, and which a lot of people don't like, but actually people actually do like Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
But
he teased it.
He said he liked the kind of dark aspect of Superman, where it's a more complicated and not like the Christopher Reeves version of Superman, where it's basically like this knight in shining armor kind of thing.
Boy Scout
But
kind of
so he really kind of likes more of that deep and complex part of Superman. So I think he liked Superman. I think he liked it with Superman dying.
I think that my personal opinion, just on Cavill's just like a go for it guy. Like I think the Superman he wants to play most resembles just like the end credit scene of Justice League with him and Flash running like just Superman.
See, they should.
that playful
They should
banter.
do little shorts like that, like all the time. Just just off the cuff. Hey, this actor's available. Well, let's get him with her, or vice versa, or whatever. Let's do little shorts and just kind of throw them out there. Just for fun. Has no narrative. Nothing like the MCU where it's just like it all has to fit and whatever. Just throw things out there like the Flash and Superman scene. I think that would be fun. I think it would invigorate the audience, and it's like, oh wow, this scene that had nothing to do with the movie just kind of popped on, and it's like, oh wow, I didn't now they have this new actor or actress or whatever is in the costume, and it's just something else for the fans to get excited for, sort of like the Deathstroke. Yeah. And it also shows goodwill for the actors, like, oh wow, they're all engaging, and they're willing to do X, Y, and Z. They're willing to donate their time to come out and do like a day of shooting or something.
I also want to, before we move on to another topic, this is rumors, and Cosmic Book News I don't really trust much, but it's worth talking about because it would be this. I'll bring up the article here.
I already have I already have two strong evidences that that is false. But go ahead, shoot it.
Okay. All right.
You're done.
You're killing my
End of
stories,
stream.
Jeffrey. I might have to end early if Jeffrey debunking it.
Yeah. Cosmic Book News is one of the sources that the Phantom Menace likes to use a lot.
Thanks. Thanks, Sci-Fi. So you guys are really helping the show here. When
Real
bring up the
trusted
topic-
sources.
When I bring up the topic, you're like, no. They're like Cosmic Book News. No way.
This bum at the side of the road was telling me if I gave him some money, he'd give me a scoop.
Yes. Is that your source? Hey,
Or did he say poop?
source? All right. So Snyder. Now, if this is, this would be a great marketing tactic if it were true. Snyder Cut tease. Not that they would launch an HBO.
A teaser?
Yeah.
I think you would, Dutch.
So when HBO Max launches a Snyder Cut teaser, say it's coming. That would get people talking about HBO Max for sure.
Shut up the haters.
But it's still they're still in talks. They're still in talks, and it's not completed yet. I don't think they're not going to come out with something and sort of give you an empty promise.
Well,
what if something goes awry?
Is if they don't do anything soon and they don't capitalize on all this free marketing, they're idiots. What I would recommend is doing
See Birds of Prey.
I had fun with it. I don't think it wasn't my favorite. But
man, that has no rewatchability for me.
Man,
the Suicide Squad has more rewatchability than that one, and I didn't really like that one that much.
Yeah, but I've said they should. If I was, well, maybe you could say, well, if you were in charge, what you would do. I would do a making of assembling the Snyder Cut and do like a mini series and then debut it when it's finished and have Zach involved. Really promote.
He does pretty well with behind the scenes kind of stuff, and he's really, just like that 3-hour sit down that he had in his theater room. He's all about sharing his experience, and I love that. That's why I know so much about George Lucas and Steven Spielberg and all them, because it was just extensive. They had their team on site showing the creature workshops and stuff like that, and everybody loves behind the scenes.
Yeah, so I think capitalize on that. Zach's already, like you said, right? Zach's already good with it. But a Snyder Cut teaser is rumored to be released with the upcoming launch. I hope this clickbait is true.
Yeah, I want it to be true too.
I'm about to go in on this.
Oh, wait, here they're saying they're also coming up with speculation what the teaser is going to be. The Snyder Cut teaser is claimed to be a short video of behind-the-scenes footage about Zach putting his project together along with a few teasers. The info comes from a user on Facebook.
That is a reliable source. Facebook was founded years ago. And
now
it's a trusted site.
Okay.
Who is apparently a veteran of the Air Force and has worked in radio. I don't know what that means, but okay.
Well, that's his credentials.
Yeah.
You can't deny him. I'm sorry.
Fact checked.
Yeah.
I'll go first because I've been laughing this up and pretty much hyping it up. So there are two things that are wrong with that, other than the whole Facebook music, because I saw that myself. But the two things that I have are really is Sean O'Connell himself, who actually did tweet out saying that he did talk to Jim Lee about the Snyder Cut off the record. Okay. He said that he can confirm that this is 1,000% false.
Okay.
And so really, like, Sean O'Connell who had to talk to Jim Lee about the Snyder Cut off the record, he really clearly knows what's going on. But also, this is what I've been saying for the longest time, with it possibly being released in theaters, even though with this whole C virus thing going on. Like,
I don't ever see a theater.
Now that's where I disagree. Yeah.
Like, here's the thing, really. because really, like, if you think about it, like like really, for those who don't know, when Zack Snyder was filming his Justice League, he was filming it with IMAX camera.
IMAX. And they liked
Yep.
something
And-
recently, right?
Yep. And really what caught my attention was the reply that they gave, which was Blue Heart. And for those who don't know, that was the same thing that AT&T did when they replied to a release a Snyder Cut tweet with the same blue heart and with a gif of Rihanna with Rihanna winking. So really, if you think about it like this, like what would give you more money when you have? Oh wow, my battery is about to die. Hold on, hold on real quick. I'm gonna get my charger.
Well, Jeffrey,
Okay.
we do have to move on to another topic too. So, people are waiting for the Star Wars talk
Oh, the hot take.
about. Let me see, Timothy Olyphant. So we have to move on to that. Maybe you could share it with us a little later. Here's the image that I clickbaited everyone here, and everyone's upset that I'm not talking about it. So he has been rumored to be cast. Now, I don't necessarily think he's going to be Thrawn, but if they were going to do Thrawn, I think he'd be a good pick. And I have a Screen Rant article.
I don't know who he is, but I'm open to new actors.
Oh, he's not new, but he's
New
he's
to
been
me.
in a lot.
New to me.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff. Justified. What was some of the Deadwood? Lots of great
Deadwood.
stuff. So let me. I'm just excited to hear everyone they've announced. I'm like, yes. There hasn't been one where I was like, there hasn't been one where I was like, oh, I'm not sure about that one. Let me see here.
I'd like to see Bo-Katan. That'd be amazing.
Oh yeah, that's Katie Sackhoff.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let me just. Oh, here it is. Here's the article. Reading articles on a movie talk. Mandalorian season 2 cast Timothy Olyphant in mystery role. The Mandalorian has snagged another big name for the cast of their upcoming season, casting Timothy Olyphant in an unknown role.
He's gonna be young Snoke.
Oh, no. Snoke was in a jar. I don't know.
He wasn't a pickle jar.
Yeah. I don't want to. I don't know if I want to see Snoke. Like some of my friends said they want to see Palpatine
they'd mentioned
growing up. That would be
little,
cool. But
little Sheev. Hey guys, I'm gonna
yeah.
Ray's dad.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was such a weird point in that movie. Like they showed Ray's parents. Like, okay.
Yeah. It was like, who are these people, and why should I care about them? And
You
how
think
did you come up with the
Palpatine's
story again?
Yeah, Palpatine's offspring would be really interesting, but they're just like bland. They're like, okay, here they are. Bye.
Yeah.
2 seconds.
I want to. Okay, at first he wanted to kill his son. He wanted to kill Ray, and then he wanted to bequeath Ray. So there's something wrong with this man. Yeah. Sorry, he was just.
And
maybe he didn't have enough legs to.
I think that was just a clash of the writers, like with the. Wow.
Well, that was Chris, right? Chris Terrio, right?
Yeah, Chris Terrio.
What I mean is like the change of directors mid movie. Like there was there was a whole other director that came in.
Yeah. Oh well, they scrapped a lot of what he had to come up. You know, I'm sorry. I think they spit these things out too quickly to turn the buck.
With no plan.
I mean, hell, you look at the prequels. You know, they took what 3 years apart at least, and Lucas had his, you know, he already had his story set, right?
Yeah.
They were just trying to. They had a deadline. They had to make the deadline because they wanted to make max profit, and because they wanted to make max profit, the art was secondary. So
Yeah.
I think they should have just, you know, waited and, like, you know, not done episode 8 until they actually had something concrete.
Yeah.
You know, or heck, not even done episode 7, because I would have rather seen Kira than what we got.
Yeah.
Because it just wasn't the story that I think we deserved.
Yeah, because apparently this was actually confirmed by a actor. He played one of the Knights of Ren. Apparently, he came out and said that that the original ending that he read, and he had like the final script at the time, where actually Ray ended up dying and actually stayed dead, and then the movie ended with Kylo Ren be taking the name of Skywalker, which would have made a lot more sense than
Okay.
Ray being Skywalker.
Let's go. Let's talk about Thrawn. If they go that way. Oh, this is actually a recent article, May 15th. Movie Web, actors who could play the live action Star Wars character. Hold on a second. Sci-fi's in here. All right, let's see who they pick. Benedict Cumberbatch. Do you see him as a Thrawn?
So from Khan to Zahn.
Yeah, right.
That could be a book. He could write his own biography, like from Khan.
And they had to show him as Khan too, mother.
So maybe since we're gonna look at this article, everyone in the chat and in the panel, pick your favorite who you would love to see play. I mean, are you for Thrawn either? Because I've seen some in the Star Wars community that say, "Don't touch him, the EU. You already put it in Legends."
They own it. They can do whatever they want.
Well,
The new trilogy's not bad.
I actually, for one, liked the Thrawn in Star Wars, in the Star Wars Rebels show that they did. Like, I actually did like Star Wars Rebels in general. Like, I actually think it's actually a great Disney. Actually think it's a good Star Wars show. So yeah, like I liked Thrawn in general in the Rebels show.
All right. Yeah, I did too. So if they do decide to bring him to life, pick one of these. Benedict Cumberbatch, Michael Fassbender, another good pick.
Oh yeah,
that's a good pick.
That would be a great pick.
Jason
They would
Isaacs.
have to voice dub him.
Jason Isaac, I've never heard of him.
He was Malfoy's dad in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
He's in Star Trek Discovery, although I have not watched that.
He does a lot of voice work for DC.
I mean, Star Trek fans kind of say that Discovery's not good, but I don't trust them because a lot of the people who say that are in the Phantom Menace, like the leaky peacock. Like he's the one who says that. Well,
it's easy to hate on Star Trek right now, just as much as it is. I don't know. I haven't watched it myself.
It's all good, man.
Yeah, I don't watch Star Trek mainly because it didn't attract me as much. But that goes the same thing for Harry Potter. I still need to watch those movies.
I got my Starfleet uniform in the mail, man.
Have you watched any of these new Star Trek series, or not interest you, Ryan?
Not really.
Not
my uncle was interested in Star Trek. He was a big Trekkie. I mean, I saw Trekkies. And I saw, Christian Slater was in a Star Trek because his mom was the casting director.
Trek 6.
And that was, and I saw it at the drive-in. But I've seen some Star Trek in my life. But I grew up on Star Wars. I mean, I'm a Spielberg, Lucas Donner. They grew me up.
All right, I agree with that. I might watch the series, including Picard. I haven't watched that yet. Lars Mikkelsen. Oh, and Jason Isaacs. was in Star Wars Rebels. He voiced the Inquisitor.
Yeah, he does a lot of voice work.
Oh, the Grand Inquisitor? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There was another actor that people were throwing around that should play an Inquisitor in live action, but I forgot which actor it was.
Okay. Lars Mikkelsen. Let's see who else. Sterling K. Brown.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He had a tiny role in Black Panther, Predator.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
Of
They
I'm
went
not
for
sure
it.
about that one.
Yeah.
Of course, they would go
Like
for
insert
the
British
Marvel
dude.
person. But yeah, like Loki, I think. But yeah, like really, I think that with him being Loki, and I can really see him being a young Thrawn. If they were to go for a young Thrawn route, I could definitely see him being like a young Thrawn, going in the ropes kind of person. So that would be nice of him.
Hugh
All right.
Laurie.
Hugh Laurie.
Nah.
Also
Kind of
Baron
old, I think.
I don't know. He was popular a few years ago. I mean, he's not popular, but he was getting more roles a few years ago. I don't see him coming back.
I like him better in Madagascar.
Ollie G in the house, man.
And
yeah, definitely.
if they do a gender swap,
There you go.
Eva Green, that
Yeah.
they included that in there.
I can get behind that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What the
All
hell?
right.
Huh.
But they've already established he's a male Chiss, though. I mean,
Unless
in Rebels.
kids can change sex or something.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
I mean, that would
But
lots of fans would be upset just because I think on that one. I don't think it's necessary.
Here's actually a fun fact though. Like Thrawn is actually not dead after Rebels. Like there's
He went
actually
with
like,
Ezra.
yeah, there's like this full arc of them basically together in this like planetary war that's going on, and it's actually a comic, and it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, in Star Wars, no one's actually ever
Oh,
gone.
I'm actually sick of that. No one's ever really gone. Like, I actually want Mace back. But not everyone wants that, but it's getting ridiculous. Like,
It
it's
makes more sense than Boba Fett. I'm telling you.
If you think about it, like Boba
Yeah.
Fett fell into the Sarlacc, Maul fell down that corridor, Sam Jackson, fell into Coruscant, Palpatine fell into the Death Star too. Whoever
They all
falls
fell.
finds a way back.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Here's
What
the thing,
about
though.
Django?
Wait, so guys,
Yeah, right.
Django
Elon's
finds a way.
dead,
So guys,
They can reattach it.
Serious question, guys.
That's the twist.
So
It's not Boba Fett. It's Django.
No, what the ultimate twist would be is really if Taika Waititi was to make that Star Wars film like a Darth Jar Jar Binks movie.
What?
And then it turns
Jeffrey,
out
I can't go along with you here.
and then it turns out that Jar Jar is
Misa back.
the true
We just
villain.
lost 2 viewers on that. Jeffrey.
Oh hell no!
They
Ahmed
need-
Best. He's the one that was in the chat. He left.
Okay.
they need imagination, dude. They need imagination.
Taika
No,
Waititi with Jar Jar. Oh my god.
As far as the canon books go, in the books aftermath, they talk about what happens to Jar Jar after everything's done. He ends up becoming a clown to entertain orphan children on Naboo.
So he's still alive. So they're
really?
alive. So
Yeah.
he,
Well,
so
yeah.
He was in the
I thought he
and
was a clown
Ahsoka and
so that means they can
Ahsoka
still,
and Sabine are 5 years after on Rebels is when
Okay.
it finished up, which lines up perfectly with Mandalorian.
Cool.
So I mean,
so that means
I find it funny that Ahsoka survived Anakin. It survived everybody basically.
yeah, outlived them all.
I mean, she survived. Yeah, I mean, it's like wow, she's
So
really good
the-
at hiding,
so the
better than
question
Yoda.
Really is she's still alive?
Is that Jeffrey?
So the question is Ahsoka and Ezra still alive, and is Ezra kind of still training his own brand of Jedi and somewhere out in the side.
Well, I mean, we definitely want to see.
Well, that's
that
where Ray got the
series.
yellow lightsaber from.
There you go. Yeah. No, but in the Thrawn books, because I have all three of the new ones, the new canon ones on Audible. The second to last, or the middle one that they did, took place with Anakin and Thrawn working together during the Clone Wars, and as Darth Vader and Thrawn Alliances, I think it was called. But basically, what they found was that young Chiss are Force sensitive, and they're called Skywalkers.
Hmm.
Huh.
And there was a whole story about that.
Rise of the Skywalker was about Thrawn.
Yeah, that's what was so weird about it, because they made such a big deal about calling these young Chiss Skywalkers. So when they made the movie, after reading that or listening to that book, I was like, are they going to tie it in somehow? But
better be careful then, because we might get a Batman-esque Jedi.
this is true.
Jedis don't kill.
All right, next topic is about Mad Max, Fury Road sequel. Now, someone.
Oh, I
sent
thought it
this
was
to
about
me.
you.
Sir Nerdalot.
Yeah, Sir Nerdalot sent it.
Yeah, let me bring this up here.
Oh, the prequel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what do we feel about this? Did you like Mad Max Fury Road, everyone? Do you want a sequel, or do you want Mad
It was
Max?
a movie. It was
I
a
actually
movie.
did.
I mean, what I enjoyed about that one was just the what was on screen. What they
Yeah.
did, special effects wise,
Yeah,
was
visually
amazing.
it was nice.
I didn't realize all the the extra things that they added to that. I was like, wow, that's crazy. But yeah, I mean, I was a fan of the visual effects mostly.
I'm open to it.
Yeah.
I'm open to it.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's as much backlash in Australia for Fury Road as there is for like Star Wars around the world for Last Jedi.
Oh yeah, because
they don't-
Mad Max is a Australian franchise.
Their
Yeah,
national
and they
treasure.
and they put Tom Hiddle, or not Tom,
That's Crocodile.
Tom
Dundee.
Hardy in as the role, which they're not a fan of. And some of the
Because he's
some of the-
British.
some of the plot points they're like, that's not Max. I still like it. I see their point though. But the actual film though was just amazing to me. But but if you go down like brass tacks, was Max the good part of the film, or was it the set piece direction? And I have to say, Furiosa was more interesting than Max was in that movie.
She
And
had
I
a better
think that was
character
kind of
arc.
intentional.
Yeah.
Personally, they wanted to focus on Furiosa more than Max in that movie, and some people consider that a bad thing.
Hey, look, my little madman Michael S. I'm not saying I'm giving devil's advocate of the haters. Listen, I'm a madman. I'm a Mad Max myself. I like it. I like all the Mad Max movies.
Yeah.
I really like Fury Road. But
It's no
I have
Thunderdome.
to say, I'm not against the prequel sequel going prequel route and Furiosa. But if I could pick one, I would rather see a Mad. I don't know if I want Tom Hardy coming back either, though. I think that's where they're
Struggling.
they're struggling. They may want to go this way anyway. Also, there was behind the scenes problems with her and Hardy, but they're not even going to have her. It's going to be
a young actress.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's a good story, I don't care. I mean,
then why
more
is
the
that
merrier.
the main picture though? Why is that the main picture though?
What? Oh, just because there's not a picture of
no, like if she's not gonna be like a part of it, then why have a picture of her specifically?
this is
because
the article.
isn't it
just
talking
to show the
about her
character.
character specifically, like doing a prequel on her?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that'd be the
Okay,
reason,
then,
just
yeah,
kind of
that
give you a
makes sense.
callback recognition.
I should have brought up
remember
a picture of the actress that's going to play her now.
Wait, they already picked an actress?
Yeah. Well, rumored. I think
Oh.
it's pretty much going to go. When you see the actress too, you'll see she has the look a little bit. Not that they would cast just on the look, but I could definitely see it. You could get the essence of Furiosa. Let me bring up see if I can find anything. No, that's not a good picture. This is what happens when
agree.
you're not prepared. Darn it. I can't find a good picture of
No,
her.
it's not good. No,
Oh,
don't
well.
show that one. No.
It's
It's too risque. It's too risque.
not safe for work, man.
Mladen's here. Anna Taylor-Joy. Yes. I haven't seen. I recognize her. I don't really remember anything she's been in, but I've seen her around. I think she'll do good.
I would have to see a picture of her to know if I recognize her or not.
Thanks, Sci-Fi. I realize that. Let me just bring up Google Images. Oh wait, here.
Just get one of her face. You don't need to show the whole body.
Well, I don't have that access anyway.
we don't want another. We don't want
Plus,
another.
I'm
Robert
gonna get the video
Meyer
pulled
Burnett.
down here, man.
Plus a bunch of old guy movie talk here. We're gonna get in some trouble.
Dude, it's the internet.
was-
Everything is offensive, so just go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
And then these guys started salivating, and the stream got weird.
Hey, Robert Meyer Burnett is not here. I have to get a sound.
Shaking for some reason.
We got to have sound clips for the show and go like, oh yeah! Anytime we like something. All right, let me see.
You got to get Snow Dub to record a couple. Oh yeahs as a.
That's the.
All right.
Was she in New Mutants?
That's I think the one we didn't see yet. So.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
right. She is in the New Mutants trailer. There's a picture of her. I'm sure there's better.
Oh
pictures.
Yeah.
She is from New Mutants.
Kind of cool.
Hopefully we get New Mutants that November.
I'm actually, if they're gonna do it, I'm glad they're going younger and not Charlize Theron, because I love Charlize Theron, but it gives them more room to grow a whole
And
franchise.
plus they overused the whole de-aging effect anyway. Like ever since that became a part of filmmaking technology, they've just been overusing it.
Mhm.
Well, they're not going to stop. It's going to get progressive and just it's going to overtake everything. Like I think like the deep fakes and stuff like that. They're going to start taking sort of like that issue that Crispin Glover had a long time ago when they used his when they took prosthetics off of his mold and applied it to the other actor because they couldn't come to an agreement for him to be in Back to the Future 2. So they put prosthetics on the other actor, hung him upside down so you couldn't recognize him. And then he sued for his likeness because he and his estate didn't get any any money from the movie or any royalties or anything like that. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to have actors and actresses sort of sign off on their image, and they're going to just like take 360 photos and start applying that. They already do that for like stunt doubles.
Mhm.
They'll remove the stunt double's face or whatever and apply. Yeah. So I just it's going to get more and more progressive to where like you don't even like if we want Henry Cavill in a movie, all we have to do is just say, here, Henry, here's some money and we're going to shoot with somebody else, but we're going to use your likeness. And that way, you're in the movie and somebody else is going to, do the ADR work. They're going to redub your lines and it's going to sound like you, but you don't have to do anything. And if he gets older or if he gets into a car accident, kind of like Mark Hamill, like when he, right before Empire Strikes Back, he got into a motorcycle accident, messed up his face. That's why they, did the whole Wampa thing. I think, they could easily just, carry all. I don't know. It's going to get kind of weird before it gets better.
They actually tried to do it with Justice League for the reshoots, apparently, where some of the when Henry Cavill was filming for the Mission Impossible movie, they had someone who was actually a bit taller who was actually as tall as Henry, and they just put Henry's face on some scenes so that it can be like Henry Cavill. So if there are like, and people notice this because they saw like some scenes, like sometimes the lip was actually very noticeable, but some people actually saw
Do you bleed?
But some people actually saw like very, very facial differences in some scenes.
Speaking of that lip, that mustache, I love Henry Cavill, but come on, bro. If I was in that position, I would say, I would say, oh, I fell asleep and someone pranked me and shaved off my mustache or something like that. So I'm not liable. I don't know how it happened. I mean, come on. Oh my god.
Yeah.
One
Can
for
you
the
believe
team.
That would be career suicide.
I mean, he could say, I
to
didn't
breach a
do it.
contract.
But
I didn't do it. Yeah.
Jason Momoa held me down and shaved it off. That would have been my cover story.
Yeah.
You can make
It
a
was
big
Affleck.
joke out of it.
But for real though, I think Jason would actually do that. Like
Right.
he actually does.
I was thinking, if I was in his position, I would say, "Oh, I was on the set, I fell asleep, and they shaved it off." Jason, that's what I would do.
Son of a.
Right, that'd be a perfect cover story.
Yeah.
Hey, Mladen. Hey, Mladen.
Hello, gentlemen.
How's
Hey.
it going?
Hey.
Hey.
It's going great. 5 a.m. up here.
Oh wow.
Well, good morning.
What do you think about Furiosa instead of? I know it's also controversial that Mel Gibson is still a controversial figure in Hollywood. So skirting past that, would you rather see him come back? I would love to see him come back and do like a Logan style and just like really do an amazing.
Yeah.
Would you be more? Would you be all for that if they said that? They'd be considerate. They haven't considered that at all. That's not even one of the. I've never heard anyone consider that because of his recent history. Well, not even recent. That was years ago. I don't. That's a big can of worms to open. Also because. I mean, say what you will about what his words were, but he wasn't toxic. I'm not justifying anything. People can move on. I mean, are you condemned for life too? I don't know these answers. I'm just saying I would love.
Well, that happened before the cancel culture was like a big thing.
Yeah.
And you don't really get cut in Hollywood. You just sort of get shelved.
Yeah.
And they've sort of let him back. They gave him that one.
Can someone give me context for this? Because it kind of sounds like the James Gunn situation where there is.
Well, it was more serious than that. I think this is one of the first instances. It was similar to cancel culture, but he said some really racial things when he was being arrested and
homophobic things.
Yeah.
Because of that, he was
anti-Semitic.
It was anti-Semitic, and it was also,
How long ago was this?
10
years.
15,
Yeah.
Maybe.
Honestly, that's too long. Like honestly, 10 years of it being someone. Like, has he repeated these things? Like, because
other instances, but it is cancel culture. Like if we
well, it's also that, but I think there was also a phone call of him like ripping into his ex. Oh yeah, and he was just like
Alec Baldwin did the same thing too. Remember?
Although he recovered pretty quickly, Alec Baldwin, and he had something similar. That's a good point. I think it's a dangerous precedent. I do not co-sign anything he said, but. If you never can come back from it, if you can never come back your whole entire history, I don't know what the answer is. There's not a good answer, but I believe he's also apologized and donated some.
He's done public apologies.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean,
some people should forgive him for that.
What's that, Jeffrey?
See, that's the thing. Like, it's kind of like if it's 10 years and he has done many things to apologize for, just let it go. But then again, we live in the 21st century and my generation is sensitive, so I get it. But at the same time, it's kind of crazy.
I mean,
they
really
canceled
in a man's heart either, though. You don't know how he actually feels about it now, or if he really meant that stuff. It's too hard to tell. I don't want to be the judge of anyone like that.
Yeah.
No. All I want to say is for the good of the property, I think that would be the best situation. Tom Hardy coming back, I'm not sure about it. Honestly, when I think about him coming back, he was not my favorite part of that movie. Furiosa, I'm mixed. I'm not against it.
Just
at
get
all.
that guy, get that actor that looks like him from Upgrade. Just like the cheaper version of Tom Hardy. Here you go. No one will know.
Oh, you know what? I recently watched Upgrade. That's one of I'm gonna buy that. That movie is amazing.
What was funny is it reminded me a lot of Venom, and it was
Yes!
the same.
That's what
the
people
guy
were
looks like
saying.
him. So I'm like, okay,
Good.
But
good.
again, Upgrade came out before Venom, so it's I don't know. It's one of those things that, like we were talking about the other day.
This is where I want to remind you, viewers, if you haven't subscribed to Zeverfett.
Yeah,
Damn it.
Zeverfett.
Zeverfett.
Just say Beaver. Say Cleaver.
See, I mess up words all the time, but
That's all good.
people have been enjoying your commentary and your contributions, along with Brian
Oh,
Hill,
thank you.
Sci-Fi, Maladen,
Appreciate
and
it.
Jeffrey. So go check them out. They've been doing more videos lately, and I'm gonna check out Mad Matt.
Yeah, he released something today. Yeah, Mad he released the trailer today, Star Wars trailer. He did like a little tribute trailer to for like Anakin, and because that's his favorite character.
Is it on your
Mine's
channel
Vader.
or his?
It's on mine. No, on his channel, Matt Bad Vids. He jumps on Twitch and he games, and they go nuts.
Is anything going to give me copyright, like music or anything, or should we play it here? Or I was just wondering if we should.
I don't think so. Let me look real quick. You guys.
Well,
go
if you
ahead.
I can upload it, even if you're not monetized yet, it'll tell you if there's something in there. I believe.
Yeah, I'm gonna look.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look real quick.
But yeah, like
If we don't get to watch it here, go check it out right after the stream for sure. And I had a few more things here. Let me see. Oh, have any of you been watching Titans?
Yeah. Both seasons.
I don't
watched
know.
the first one.
I don't
Not
know
a
why
fan.
people. I don't know why people. I don't know why
It's not
people
under analytics.
hated it when the trailers came out. Because even in the trailers, I loved it. Like I loved the trailers. I don't know why people were hating it unless they thought it was too dark and trying to be too edgy.
I like that though. Dark and edgy,
Yeah.
not CW. So
Well, it is still Berlanti though. That's the same
Still
guy that does the
Berlanti-verse,
CW
yeah.
stuff.
but
Yeah,
it's
but I like
amped
this
up,
better.
yeah.
It's a better format. Yes. 'Cause I mean,
Yeah.
like on the CW, it's always about like they're always talking about their feelings and stuff like that, and I'm not I'm not down with it. Like, hey, can I sidebar you a moment? Like,
Okay.
all right, come on, let's go talk about this. It's like no, just action. Give us action.
Well, I
Yeah.
have DC Universe, and I haven't watched it, and then I've recently been watching season 2. I'm about halfway through it. I'm enjoying it. I did not. Are you guys a fan of Doom Patrol 2? Doom Patrol I didn't get into.
I didn't get into it. I
haven't-
watched the
I haven't
first
seen
season.
it yet. I haven't seen
And
it.
they got renewed. I know that.
People
And
I
it's
love
going
haven't
to
it.
seen any
HBO
of these
Max.
shows.
It's going to HBO Max.
I have
And
not seen it.
And this one thing is going to CW, which now is kind of making the DC Universe app irrelevant, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know. And my $60 a
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
It's not worth
No,
it.
it is.
I mean,
It is irrelevant. It is completely irrelevant. Just switch over to HBO Max. Everything's going to migrate.
Well,
there
I
anyway.
got HBO. If you don't know now, and come do it soon, because if you go to HBO Now, not like through the subscription HBO Go, if you just do HBO Now, which is just the app, $14.99, they'll grandfather you into HBO Max without a price increase. So I don't know if that's the exact price that HBO Max is going to be, but if you go to hbonow.com and subscribe now, you'll already have it when it comes out. At least that's what it said on the website. And I'm like,
HBO Max is going to be cheaper. It's going to be $11.99.
oh damn! All right, thanks, Jeffrey. Stop that. Damn, I did it again. Although I wanted to watch some shows that because we've been at home so much. I'm like, there's so much I missed on HBO because I got rid of it after Game of Thrones. I was like, forget this. I canceled that next day. I'm like, this. Forget this.
The Watchmen TV show is good.
I've started it. My wife is not a fan.
I kind of dropped off on that one too. It was just.
I
It started off okay, but it just didn't last for me.
I didn't give. I mean, I've heard great things. I've heard bad things. I just am not. It's not pulling me in, and it's extremely violent. Which I'm not against. No, I'm not against. It's just violent for
Now you
violence
sound
sake,
like
and then
a
the costumes look
fan.
horrible. Like I don't know why they went with these cheap looking costumes. I don't get
Yeah,
it.
like I saw what Dr. Manhattan looks like in that show, and I'm not really impressed,
Oh yeah, now
especially when you
Yeah.
compare it to the Zack Snyder version of
yeah,
Dr.
yeah,
Manhattan.
yeah, that I agree with. Dr. Manhattan looked bad. Like he looked bad.
I mean, I'd rather just go. I really like the Zack Snyder. Maybe I'm a Snyder fanboy. I like Zack Snyder's Watchmen. I think everyone did at the time too, and they like to go back and hate on it now.
It kind of grows on you a little bit too. I mean, just going the other way. I mean, I like the guy from Aquaman who was also in.
Jason Momoa.
No. He
Patrick
played
Wilson?
Orm. He played
Patrick Wilson.
who?
Patrick
Ocean
Wilson.
Master.
Ocean Master, right? Orm, yeah. And Patrick Wilson. He also
Patrick
played in
Wilson.
a lot of James Wan stuff. That's why he was in Aquaman. But yeah, I mean, I dug him as Owlman too. I thought he did a pretty good job. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, he was sort of the Batman of the Watchmen anyway. And I was like, okay, well, this is sort of a precursor to
Really, I
what
thought
Snyder
that.
would bring to that universe.
Really, I saw Rorschach as more of Batman than Owlman, but that's just me.
I'll give it another shot.
Like I wouldn't even be surprised if he would bring. Wouldn't be surprised if he would canonize his Watchmen with the DC with his universe. So
well, they did have the what was it? The comedian. The comedian was Thomas Wayne.
yeah,
And
that
he was. I don't want to say he was
Jeffrey Dean
supposed to
Morgan.
be, the Flashpoint Batman, but of course, all that stuff is sort of not going to happen now, or on hiatus, or I don't know. I don't think that time frame or timeline or whatever will see the light of day. But yeah, no, it's just it's really cool to see that. And then the other guy that played the Flash's father in prison.
Oh yeah.
Billy
Crudup.
Crudup. Yeah,
I think
he was in Watchmen, so he
Yeah,
played
yeah.
Dr. Manhattan. Yeah,
that's I love that casting too. I hope that sticks if we do get the Flash movie. Do you think the Flash? Do you think they're going to keep him now based on that? I think it's kind of blown over.
Yeah.
Oh, it was based on the choking.
Yeah.
Oh, that was quick.
I think that blew over.
That was quick. Because really, the story came out that they're not doing a investigation. So really, they're still gonna keep Ezra Miller as the Flash, but for Mera, that's a different story.
Mera?
Yeah, that's a different story.
I honestly,
Amber Heard.
Even without
There's
the
plenty of fish
controversy,
in the sea.
yeah, without the controversy of Amber, I'm not no offense to her acting ability, regardless of all of other chaos she brings along in baggage. I don't, even if nothing happened and they replaced her, I don't think anyone would be crying. Like if they replaced her, I mean, she was just, she didn't do horrible or anything. It's just okay.
Really,
I mean, her hair was like way too red for me. It did not look natural.
My replacement for her would be Emilia Clarke because really I can actually see her being a good Mera with really what was shown in Game of Thrones, before the whole season 8 debacle. I still see her with her acting ability and the chemistry that her and Jason had in
that's right. I forgot.
Show. Right, that's really the main reason why Amelia is my go-to for her. If they do end up having to replace Amber Heard for Mera. So she's my first draft pick when it comes to the replacement.
Yeah.
Well, when I watched the movie Aquaman, I don't. There was talk that Amber and Jason had so much chemistry on. I just didn't see it. Honestly,
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
see it.
it didn't
It
play
felt
through.
forced.
I saw it.
Like
I actually
the
did
sequence
see
in the
it.
plane when she was about to jump out. That didn't seem, and the whole thing with the with the little kid with the Pinocchio book and all that. That whole sequence, it just didn't seem like it was natural.
Yeah.
And that was sort of. I mean, I haven't done my review of Aquaman yet, so stay tuned.
Oh, you are gonna you plan to?
Oh yeah. I'm
Okay,
definitely
cool.
gonna do an Aquaman as well. I've done almost all of the DCEU.
All right, cool. We've gone a full hour. I think we'll end it. Go check out.
There's one more thing that I think we should talk about. It's
Okay.
the redesign of the High Republic characters. I sent you a link.
Yeah.
You mean Safe Space and Snowflake?
No.
No,
No, the Phantom
I don't
Menace did
know.
a redesign of one of the Star Wars High Republic characters. This time they did Lord Greystorm or whatever his name is, the Twi'lek Jedi that they showed in the concept art, and they made him look like a Mortal Kombat character. Basically, that's the best way I can put it.
I'm trying to find.
He needs to look like Bib Fortuna, if you remember him.
I'm trying to find it
Maybe
here.
I'm the only one.
Hold on. I'm trying to get a good picture of it.
Really, if you were to ask me, I would say get rid of Safe Space and you're good. Like, just
Well,
get rid of Safe Space and you're good.
It actually seemed like because especially on the internet here, there's Comicsgate's pretty trendy. It seems like something that they would do to mock SJW characters, like a mock comic, but it actually came from them trying to say, hey, we could turn the criticism against us in power, and it did not work. No, Safe Space and Snowflake.
I just want to try some of that internet gas.
But the ironic part is it did work for the Snyder Cut movement, which is really why I ultimately found how we took it so well. Like, that was the funny part for it.
Oh, this isn't I'm trying to get this bigger.
It's a small photo. Yeah.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, the original tweets no longer can't be accessed because apparently the person who posted the pictures was being harassed by the Phantom Menace, and he had to private his account or something.
Oh, okay. Well, hey,
Yeah,
the guy's
that
talented.
cool.
Okay, but
Yeah,
this looks like.
that looks cool.
Are you on the one on the left?
The one on the left.
Yeah, but it kind of looks like Mortal Kombat High Republic.
That's what I said.
Did you ever see that concept art of Obi-Wan, like Dark Obi-Wan for like Battlefront 2 or something like that, or Battlefront 1?
No,
that's what it looks like to me.
Bizarro Obi-Wan.
I mean, it's cool, but saying this, but is okay. Let me ask, since this is our last topic, saying this is an improvement. Is it cool fan art? Is it fair to say this is improvement, or is that not like what a Jedi's about? It's more about embracing the Force and using it. They don't need to have muscles on muscles.
I don't
care
what they wear. Yeah. I mean, we're not.
I don't really care what they look like, because it really because anyway, I would actually like to see a roguish Jedi look, going against the Jedi and Sith away, and just basically what I'm saying is I would like that look to be what the Greys are like, the people who are, quote, rogue Jedis and rogue Sith, that.
Yeah.
Hey, Kancha, sorry, I didn't. But the chat was frozen for me. I didn't think anyone was chatting for a while. Now it's all popping up. So I didn't mean to forget you. I never forget you, Kancha. Well, no, Henry Cavill is a perfect
You
Superman
be
for me
messing
too.
up.
That was his peak.
You be messing up for a while.
Yeah, one of the only problems that I had with the Jedi being represented in the prequels were it was like so I guess they're all in pajamas now, and I was like, okay,
Well,
you
I
had
mean,
Obi-Wan and Yoda in being elders, they were just old people, one living in a swamp, one living on a desert, and they were just wearing clothes that I guess would be comfortable. But then when they were, went back, I thought they'd have like some sort of like, nice. I don't mind, something simplistic, for a Jedi or whatever. But I didn't know like everybody was issued like a tunic and a robe, and here you go.
I just want to say at the beginning I didn't like Attack of the Clones, but now I actually do love it because to me it kind of does. And I actually did this on Nudie Stream, but really, like, to me, what episode 2 was mainly about is really questioning the Jedi way with that romance subplot, where I think it was supposed to be terrible on purpose because it was supposed to show like the flaws of why the Jedi is a bad thing. Like let's be real, with the Jedi being distant from each other, they would be horrible at romance.
Yeah,
they would be horrible.
I totally agree with you, Jeffrey. I've long defended that sand and that awkwardness. We're talking about a Jedi that's been with a bunch of
sand's coarse and it gets everywhere.
I'm sorry, dude.
Guy hanging out with a bunch of old guys in robes isn't going to be smooth. And she was like, "This is awkward." She responded accordingly. Teenagers are awkward. They say stupid stuff.
Would be that cringy. Like you just like you and Hayden in the elevator sequence, like it was like that Battle of Gundar. So, that's cringy. And I was like, can this elevator go any faster?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I really do love the prequels. Like even before the sequels, I still loved them and it was still defending them. And then when the sequels came out, I was one of those people saying, "See, told you the sequels told you the prequels are good."
They just had to make worse movies.
Yeah. well, come on. Do you remember being in the theater and seeing Yoda and taking out the lightsaber? That was a game changer moment in cinema.
He reached over and it kind of. I was invested until he started flipping like crazy, and you could tell. Tell that Christopher Lee wasn't. Actually fighting. Part, I would have loved to have seen maybe do some tight cuts with Chris. I know he's old, and he was awesome in Lord of the Rings, and this was around the same time, and he's a phenomenal actor. I've loved him in pretty much everything he's done, but I would have loved to have seen a better hand to hand with him and Yoda.
Yeah, Dooku was never my favorite. I like him too.
You mean a better force battle? What do you say?
You talking about Dooku or are you talking about Darth Tyrannus?
Wait, when you
no one ever says that name.
When you say hand to hand, like, do you mean like force or
headbutting? I want to see him pick up Yoda and throw him across the room.
You could tell that he wasn't doing the action. Chris, what's his name again? Christopher.
Yes, Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee.
Yeah, Christopher Lee.
Well, you think that was maybe just George fanboying himself? He really wanted him in the movie.
I think that George really. That's the same thing with the guy that played Grand Moff Tarkin. He was a very big B movie actor. Same thing with Christopher Lee. Very very big into B movies, and he kind of went a little mainstream as well, but it was sort of a fanboy kind of thing. He just wanted him to be in the movie, and I'm sure that it was either in his contract or you know, it was just George's preference to not put him through so much physicality.
Was he like 90
you know,
or something when they made that?
he was
90,
super
but
old.
He was
Yeah.
really old.
Like maybe over 100.
Really like for the Yoda thing, for that I really have to disagree with you with the whole like with him flipping and stuff. Cause think about it like this: like, would you rather have seen a Batman, like a Dark Knight action scene where it was all nothing but cuts all over the place, or would you have rather seen like Yoda flipping around, acting fast, and really like I actually do like him flipping around because it seemed like because when I saw Yoda fight for the first time and I saw the originals before seeing Attack of the Clones, I know that's weird, but yeah, that's what I did. And I was like, what is Yoda going to do with him being so slow? And then with him being fast, like I was like, oh wow, I underestimated him.
Well,
I liked his Yoda's battle with Sidious. I thought.
Yeah, I was gonna say he did all the flips and stuff with Sidious too. Yeah,
he did, but it was okay. Like when I was watching Attack of the Clones in theaters, when Yoda when he pulled it out and he was there, and right before the fight, I was invested. I was like, oh man, this is.
Yeah, he about ready to throw
down. What I've been waiting for. You know, what's Frank gonna do with his arm? You know, but my first gut instinct was that I laughed. I thought it was amazing, but it just kind of came out of me. I just started laughing. I was like, holy crap, it was funny, amazing, all at the same time. I knew it was CG, but yeah, I mean, that was just my input. When I watched, Revenge of the Sith, I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I've already been, exposed to that, so I can enjoy it more. But I thought that the way that they plotted out the whole fight with him and Sidious was just a lot better. It was just better orchestrated, better ideas. Maybe they could have done less with the lightsaber with Tyrannus or Dooku.
Speaking of Revenge of the Sith, did you guys know that there's a 4-hour cut of Revenge of the Sith?
Yeah, I do. I've heard about that.
Yeah.
George Lucas's original version of Revenge of the Sith was 4 hours long. His cut.
Yeah,
and a lot of that, a lot of the cut scenes were from the opening scene when they're on the invisible hand, the ship that General Grievous put Palpatine on.
Yeah. When they killed Shaq T and all that, yeah.
Release the Lucas cut.
Well, I mean, I say I'm not a pro. I think that this is how I feel about like special editions. I think that they should go back and do special editions of 1, 2, and 3, much like they did with 4, 5, and 6. I do also think that the original, untouched cuts, the Laserdisc type, releases,
THX versions
still need to be right. They still need. Right. They still need to be available for people who are just into filmmaking or into, or just want to see something like, oh, this is what I saw when I was, a child, or this is what my parents, showed me when I was really young or whatever. Or maybe I've never seen that before and I'd like to see what, these other people did before they did the special editions and just kind of like canceled it out and like, rewrote history and you never, it's never going to see the light of day again unless you have a Laserdisc player. But I think that they should go back and do re-edits and update CGI in episode 1, 2, and 3 because there's a lot of stuff in there that I would personally change.
It's kind of dated, yeah. Especially episode 3.
Well, if you look at episode 2, remember when Obi-Wan went up to that Dexter Jetster and gave him a hug and his the cloth, because they were just now they were just fresh working with cloth and CG and they didn't quite have it right, so the volume and the way it laid and the way it it reacted to him embracing Ewan McGregor's character, it looks really fake. It looks like it's in it's either a balloon or it's in water or something. It looks very off to me.
Yeah.
So that didn't.
Well, they did try to update the CGI in the Phantom Menace with Yoda. Like they replaced the puppet Yoda with a CG Yoda to make it match with episode 2 and 3.
Yeah, he made
CGI
minor
is
tweaks. He
better.
made minor tweaks, but I'm talking about like, you know, going back and doing an overhaul, and especially since, you know, Disney has it now, it's like, you know, if they really want to make, you know, max profit, go back and you know, I mean, there's that one episode one, you know, the fan edit or whatever, you know, where it's like, you know, they trimmed down Jar Jar a little bit. I would go back and change Jar Jar. I changed the language that the Gungans spoke into the sort of the language that or the dialect that the Jamaicans use, to where it's like, you know, you can't understand really what they're saying unless you know what they're saying. But just make it to where you have to read it at the bottom of the screen, so it doesn't sound like Misa Yusa Hisa, you know, it's like, you know, they made fun of that a little bit in the Mandalorian, which I thought was funny. But again, I would go back and just sort of like add subtitles, and it would give a little bit more credence to the characters rather than just being idiots on screen.
The Nimoidians sound different.
Unpopular opinion, I couldn't get behind the Mandalorian. I'm sorry, I just
You can't? Oh, sorry, Jeffrey.
Scandal.
Jeffrey, no.
He got canceled.
No, are you serious? That's what you're gonna leave a hot take at the end of the show, because I do gotta wrap it up. What?
Yeah.
Jeffrey.
Oh man.
Man, what a mic drop.
Are you serious, man?
And by the way, guys, Anakin Skywalker sucks.
I'm out. Peace.
You can't get behind the Mandalorian?
I'm sorry.
Favreau's a hack.
I thought I had hope for you, Jeffrey. I don't know about it anymore.
Iron Man 1 sucked.
I'm sorry. It's just
You better be sorry. This is everyone said, "Hell, Jeffrey, thanks for showing up. This might be the last time." No. Well, okay. You can't leave it hot like that. You got to don't just give one example. One thing that you can't get behind it. Why?
It's just it just kind of seems like it's telling me it's so far from what the show has given us to me. It just gives me like kind of nothing interesting other than that final battle season 1 that was given. Like
I've never agreed with someone so strongly. It's my favorite. I can't wait for the Mandalorian season 2. Boy. But you're entitled to your opinion.
But I will say this: I'm a fan. I'm a man of second chances, so I will be back.
They have got to prove it to you. Season 2, they got to prove it to you.
So sorry to leave you with that.
It's like Star Trek. It takes a season or 2.
All right.
Hey, season 2, Mandalorian. We're gonna see Leia Bouche again in the bounty hunter outfit.
I thought you used the Force to boot me out. Like Force to push a button down.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about this Ayer Cut now of Joker.
Yeah, like there's a lot of cool stuff that that's come out about
his version isn't as far along as Snyder's though. His would actually cost a lot of money to revert back to that.
That they should
he's not vying for it like Snyder is.
Right.
And so what do you guys know about it? Because I actually know a lot about it because I've been following it for a very long time. Because I know that.
Well, I know that he had his own version. He showed people his cut before. See, the thing was they were in they were trying to, as soon as BVS the theatrical version came out, and nobody liked it and didn't make the money that they wanted it to make. They were just in panic, and so what they did was they released those Suicide Squad trailers.
No, I mean like
released it to all that,
like what is in the Ayer Cut. So
what's in the Ayer Cut? Oh, like Joker at the end, and he's the one that Harley and all them are fighting against, along with what's her name, the witch, Enchantress. He was there. He had a different role. He had more scenes in the movie. There was more of a dynamic between Harley and Joker. I'm not personally a fan of that Joker. I thought shaving his eyebrows looked weird and retarded. I thought that one thing they could have done, which would have been kind of cool, is if he's
Did you
gonna go ahead
know-
and tat his body, would be that his white skin can't hold pigment, so therefore he continues to be tatted, and has had different designs or whatever. And you see kind of scars all over his body,
did you
just
know
because
that,
the pigment sort of wears away. Okay.
So did you know that Steppenwolf was supposed to be in it?
Right,
Yeah, I
and
heard
the
about that.
the black bubbly creatures were supposed to be parademons, but I heard Zach said he wanted Steppenwolf for his villain and wouldn't share him with Ayer. But they were supposed to have ties together. It was supposed to build up, to the
And I guess
Justice League movie that they was going to release. But after the panic of BVS, and they were showing those the Suicide Squad trailers that were cutting like Queen music and all that. They hired that studio to actually cut the whole movie or recut the whole movie of Suicide Squad to appease or appeal to that audience because the YouTube view count and like to dislike ratio was so high. They were like, oh, we can't go wrong. And they made a lot of money off of Suicide Squad, but after you watch it a couple times, it's just kind of like it's just not as good as it could have been.
Yeah.
And I believe
Yeah.
that Ayer had a better version because he had another movie called Sabotage, which was similar. It was just a ragtag group of people with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Joe Manganiello, who's Deathstroke, and that was a good movie. And I was like, oh, okay, so that's why I was excited about Suicide Squad, because I was like, that's a good movie. I know this movie, this movie's in good hands.
And so really apparently Batman was supposed to be in the movie more, where he actually had enough scenes where David said that Batman was had enough runtime for Spider-Man in Civil War. So that's a lot of Batman scenes that are missed also.
So I would have preferred more. Kind of like that animated movie, the Arkham movie or whatever, with Batman sort of trailing him and trying to figure out what's going on or whatever. And then he changed outfits with one of the characters in the cartoon. But I would have preferred that storyline or something similar to it. Just because I just I like Batman. I just more Batman the better.
Sure.
Yeah. And so like really with the whole Ayer Cut thing, what I would say is the first release the Ayer Cut and then release the Snyder Cut. So then, and here's why.
Okay. All right. Well, after this we got to finish, Jeffrey, because it's getting later.
Okay. I'll make this quick then.
Okay.
The reason why is so that the casuals can get context for Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it.
We might be asking too much for both of
Steppenwolf
that,
was
though.
in it.
I would
was
like. I'm on board with what you're saying, Jeffrey. But the Snyder Cut is getting a lot more marketing than the Ayer Cut.
Yeah.
So I would go with
all
what's
about
popular.
the Benjamins.
Yeah, and maybe if it's like super successful, it drives a lot of. I don't know if that. I mean, a lot of us in the fandom or in our bubble might like to think it might drive some HBO Max subscriptions, knowing about the Snyder Cut. But we have to see how the general public reacts.
I mean, I'm all about the physical copies, man.
Yeah.
That's why have the Donner Cut.
The physical copies are gonna die soon, man.
I have that on Steelbook.
The special
Yeah.
features are so good on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
those are my
by the
prized
Mac is
possessions.
here. Hey, Smack by the Mac. I got to have you on one time too. It's been a while.
Verisimilitude.
In Bat City stuff. I'll have to research the Ayer Cut more on it. I don't know as much about that as Snyder Cut.
Okay, then I suggest you go check out Thrawn Flicks, because he actually does cover a lot about the Ayer Cut, and he really has known about the Ayer Cut before the whole Snyder Cut thing. So I suggest you check out Thrawn Flicks for that.
All right, so I'm gonna end the show here, and we'll give you your final way to pimp your channel. Everyone's been enjoying this panel here, so I appreciate you all participating. I appreciate everyone in the chat. Pete, I got to get you back here too. Pete's a nice guy. He's a video game guy. We're all about the a television Amico coming out. So Ryan, we'll start with you. Pimp your channel. Maybe we'll be on your channel sometime too. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see what we can get together. But yeah, my channel is Zeverfett, and we do reviews of pop culture and movies, whatnot. We had a channel years ago. It kind of died off because we did a speculation for Last Jedi, and we were completely wrong. And
I gotta check that one out. You told me about it. I gotta check that out. Yeah, that video.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, Brian.
Yeah, I'm Brian Hill, jack of all trades, master of none. I've been doing a lot of Picard reviews and stuff like that. Been kind of quiet since the show kind of went off the the season was over. Just looking to do some more live streams, and thanks for having me on again, Max.
All right, Jeffrey.
Yeah, I'm Jeffrey. My channel is Jeffrey Warfield. Like actual Warfield is like when it is like one word. So and what I do is I cover comic book news for
and all the Mandalorian.
And basically, like after this whole Snyder Cut thing is done, then I'll be going back to my roots for the channel, and basically that's doing dance videos. So
you're a dancer.
Yep.
You got to throw that out there right away. Now I got to go back and look at your old catalog.
That's the hot take right there.
Yeah, right. Hot take of the evening.
All right, Maladen, talk about your channel.
I
know. I say Maladen needs to make a channel. He's just a good movie talk guy. He sends you like if Zeverfett, if you ever want to get movie topics, hit up Maladen on Twitter. He'll send you movie topics all the time. He's a great guy.
Right on.
He's like a reporter.
Will do.
And my good friend Sci-Fi Dragon, I think he's known me the longest out of all of you. Maybe Brian, I'm not sure. Sci-Fi's been
for a while.
Yeah, so pimp your channel, Sci-Fi.
I have a video on the Godzilla MonsterVerse that you guys can watch, and I have a video about the Red Dawn remake, specifically about the original version of that remake where China was the invading enemy instead of North Korea. And I'm trying, and I want to work on a Godzilla versus Kong video, but I haven't really gotten the chance to really work on it because I need to do some revisions on the script. So that's what I'm going to be
I've been keeping you too busy. I've been doing the live streams with me.
Hey man, you got me hooked. You got me hooked, man, with that right there.
All right.
So I'll be sure to check your channel out.
So thanks everyone. Thanks for watching. We'll be together soon. I'll let you know if you ever want to be on the show. Hit me up on Twitter is the easiest way. Check everyone out. Bye.
Bye.